Hey everybody, this is Rich, and as part of Intercontinental Group of Awesome, the I-95 games. As we had announced, the Mask campaign has concluded, and this is our scheduled launch of the Urban Shadows campaign. I have at the top a bit of a sad announcement to share. Um, on this past Friday, March 22nd, one of our longtime players, Paul Edson, suddenly passed away. And it's been a rough few days for all of us. And we decided as a group, after some discussion, that we wanted to continue playing together because we know that Paul would want that. Paul was a longtime friend of mine. We've known each other for a number of years since he cajoled me into running a play-by-post of Apocalypse World, and then over time, we were playing together and talking all the time, and then I drug him, kicking and screaming, here to our Sunday games, and it's been a joy to have shared time with him, and I really hope they rest in peace. And if anyone has any questions about Paul, feel free to ask in the comments. But at this point, we're just going to continue on with the group as we have it for right now and play Urban Shadows. And the good news is that I'm not the GM. Urban Shadows is a PBTA game by Magpie, put out by Magpie, written by Andrew Medeiros. It's not on the cover, but it's Andrew Medeiros and Mark Diaz Truman. It is a supernatural horror game, kind of like The Wire meets, The Wire meets vampires and werewolves and stuff. And I'm really excited because Alex has been prepping to run this for a while. He's even got like a second group. So he's not cheating on us. Like they're the group where he's tested out some things. So very, very excited about Alex's approach here. And we are going to be playing in London. I have a little background, just kind of cityfied that I got just for Urban Shadows. So that's my preamble. Thank you guys so much. And Alex, feel free to take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I thought since we've now got we have all our character creation done except for debts, we could introduce our characters, and so everyone's got like context for discussing debts, and I will share them out. I'm going to go through. I'm going to use the order of our character sheet. So that's Jen starting.
All right. So I am playing Imogen Horniman, who is the vamp. She is a little bit of old money, a little bit of new ambition, a vampire now, I guess. She's lived in London her whole life, excepting for, some school times and holidays on the continent. She is the owner of a nightclub called The Killing Jar, which is a multi-story nightclub built out of an old, zoological interest society headquarters. So there are a lot of taxidermied animals and preserved insects and other things as part of the decor. One of the VIP areas is an old operating theater, complete with the staged seating and so on. Let's see. And Imogen's always kind of been involved in shady things and been supernatural adjacent. While the front of the house of the nightclub has always been, cocktails, parties, small music shows, comedy reviews. The back of house operations has often been access and smuggling of supernatural exotica and ephemera. somewhere in the killing jar is a magic mirror. I don't know what it does yet or where she got it.
You also have ghouls.
I also have some ghouls. They are a new addition. Just like Imogen is in my head, she's relatively new to being a vampire. So I'm sure she's in for a fun time.
Just, cause I'm still not sure if we're on because I don't have a clear idea of what a ghoul is. Are we talking? Are these bound to you in some way, like magically bonded to you? Are we talking servants of yours?
Yeah, let me scroll to my reference of vampire stuff, because being a vampire is complicated. So vampire blood can be applied to dead humans to make them into ghouls. They are thinking and speaking and can pass for alive in dim light if you get them fresh. So yeah, I think that they are supernaturally bonded to me. They're mine in a supernatural way.
Cool. Do they need to be refreshed? Like, do you need to maybe that could be a part of the bonding to you? Like, if they went off into the world on their own, they would,
they definitely be
would
in
return
trouble.
to being a corpse.
Being dead as hell. Yeah.
It kind of, because it adds
that's
it adds a kind of they're bonded to you, but also you're giving them life. It has a kind of positive and a negative, rather than just they are yours.
Yeah.
Which is a bit more negative. Though you're a vampire, so negative.
I'm a vampire, so for one thing, I don't necessarily want to make being a vampire seem like something that could be at its core a fair and positive thing.
Yeah, actually, that's I think
I don't want to
pray. You're the night faction. You prey on people.
Yeah, and I don't want to push being the vampire into terribly uncomfortable places.
Yeah, it's not something I'm gonna push heavily on that kind of theme idea and stuff. I just wanted to have a clearer idea of what the ghoul is to you.
Yeah, no, and I have feelings, capital F feelings, about vampires and what they represent and how you build them out. I also don't want to create sort of a booky blood economy, because that gets very excuse me, nerd math bullshit, and I'm not into it. So I think for say a certain unnamed game where you play as vampires and you can have ghouls, in that game you're supposed to give them some of your blood on a pretty regular basis, and that is a great stopgap for stopping people from being it says here in the book under the list of 10 zillion things that are to do with being a vampire, that I could just give a human some of my blood and they're a ghoul forever and they love me and they're addicted to doing the things that I want them to. Fucking rad. I'm going to just do that to everyone.
And have an army of ghouls.
Right, right. So it stops shitty players from having an army of ghouls. I think in this game, one, you can trust me to just keep it to 3 people. And two, I think that vampires in general don't tend to make a lot of ghouls because they needy and inconvenient, actually.
That sounds like I just want some personal space.
Yeah, just kind of an I just want some personal space kind of thing, which doesn't solve the problem for the particularly shitty people, but yeah. And like maybe I need to feed them raw meat.
Is there anything else you feel that's you want to describe about your character, or is that you feel that's I think that's
I'm not sure if I've gone over like the rules of vampires with everybody. So I feel like dumping that verbally.
Yeah, let's have the rules
before moving on from Imogen is important. All of this is in the Urban Shadows London document near the bottom. Just so you know. Step 1, vampires drink blood and use fangs to do it. Step 2, you can see them in mirrors and take photos of them. Step 3, they are ageless. Step 4, new vampires are made by sharing blood with a human who is dying. They are vulnerable to icons of charitable faith. So very much in a Fright Night sort of twist. You know, you've got to have faith to make the cross pointing work. But you also need to be a part of a charitable faith and be a person who takes charitable actions. So if a god wants you to roll materialist, scam artist, preacher, waggles across at somebody, no matter how much they believe it, if a very diligent Sikh with a kirpan stabs you with it, you are fucked. You know, if you're a lapsed Catholic, but you volunteer at a soup kitchen weekly, and you waggle across at a vampire, they are real sad. So it all kind of depends on that combination of faith and deeds, whether or not a holy symbol fucks with you. The sun judges them when they are exposed to it based on their accumulated wickedness. So it's a bit of Russian roulette. They don't necessarily burst into flame, but traveling in sunlight risks anything from constantly being exposed to minor accidents, to being swarmed by angry animals, to, yes, bursting into flame. So this is a nice hook for any kind of ironic punishments that the sun can just leverage upon vampires who are out in the daytime. You can kill a vampire with whatever tools you have on hand. You know, if you damage their body like you damage a human body until it died, the vampire would, you know, be dead for a bit. Although being dead for a vampire is kind of a just collect all of the bits and add blood to them problem. Not that most people have any good reason to do this ever, but you can do it. Vampires sometimes form gangs, but generally don't organize around anything stronger than a loose blood family of lineage. And you can apply vampire blood to a dead human to make a ghoul.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Shall I move? We'll move over to Rich.
Yes, please move on.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't have a whole lot of rules. I am playing a revenant. My revenant's name is originally from, well, his family descends from Korea. I think he grew up in England. I will not be doing a bad British accent because I care about you guys too much. So I'll just talk like me. His name is Moonsik, and the Revenant is Urban Shadow's version of the Crow from the James O'Barr comic, and also the series of movies which got progressively worse over time. Significantly progressively worse. The Revenant came out in the Dark Streets supplement, and it has its own set of corruption, which is a mechanic in Urban Shadows. There's a whole lot of little stuff that's going to be going on with Moonseek as we explore the Revenant. But to speak specifically about what he's about, he was in life a bike messenger who traveled all around London and delivered packages and messages. Did some work for an Amazon-like place, but also delivered legal documents, and so he was bonded and insured. And then he was captured on one of his deliveries by this group of thugs who thought that they could make their bones and make themselves famous. And so there are 3 folks who wronged him, and they murdered him. They beat, mutilated, and murdered him for the clicks, for online clicks. We have Rory, Rupert, and Ignatius, who were the trio. They are marked by Moonseek's call, Caul, not Call. That's the force that brought Moonseek back from the dead. I also have, I don't know if Daemon means you say daemon, or if you say demon. I don't know. Does anyone want to make a call on that?
Let's say demon.
Okay. He has a demon who guided him back from the land of the dead and walks with him now among the living. The two are inseparable, and Moonseek is constantly aware of its presence. And the daemon's name is Murky. He is a Croatian sheepdog who is black, and he has a patient voice. Yes, he can speak to me. I will leave it up to Alex to determine if others can hear or not. I think it would be fun if some can and some cannot, but
I think that would be very much based on supernatural tendencies of that person or skills.
I dig that. I really like that. I think that works quite a lot.
You could definitely walk down the street with Murky and him talking to you, and no one would look at you.
That's nice.
Unless you have the crow style makeup on all the time, then you'll get looks.
He has no crow style. He doesn't even have that kind of makeup. So while he was a bike messenger, all that he remembers of his old life is the city streets, and in his memory of it, he flies at street level along the streets for some reason. He knows where a lot of hidden streets are, but can't recall why he'd been there before. There is a woman named Molly, Molly Martins, who has never explained to Moonseek why she was watching this kill website, but saw Moonseek murdered on it, recognized the background, like the walls in the video, and sought him out and found the dumpster where they had dropped his body, along with the 2 silver coins that they laid on his eyes, because one of them had read about that in a Greek myth, and thought it would be great. And so Molly is kind of his mortal confidant. She's aware that he has come back from the dead. She saw his murder, and I believe she doesn't necessarily want Moonseek to fall in, as she calls it, the hole of perpetual violence. Like, they did violence to you, you're going to do violence to them. What is that going to benefit? Anything else I should explain about Moonseek?
I don't think we need to bring up the how you died in full detail until that can actually be brought up in actual play.
Yep.
I think that covers everything.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. We can move over to Jan.
Hi. I'm playing Shadi Barzani. I'm playing the Scholar playbook. Shadi is Middle Eastern, basically played by you can imagine her as played by Shore Agdashlu, the lady who also plays in The Expanse. And yeah, the scholar trades in magical artifacts and stuff. She was already a antiquary before she got into the magical stuff, but then she traded a bag from an old Scotsman, and ever since that weird bag got into her possession, everything started to become much weirder for her. That arcane bag she now calls Jesper, and it seems to have a bit of a mind of its own. Let's see. So yeah.
The bag, is that just a nickname you gave to it, or is that something you
It's a
felt
nickname.
compelled to name it? Or...
I mean, Shadi definitely believes it's a nickname.
Okay.
If she was compelled by the bag, she's not aware. Sorry.
So yeah, haunted bags are actually a piece of Native American folklore, and basically you never want to be anywhere near one. It's very bad news.
I'm sure this.
I will Google that. That might inform what that bag looks like. Or
technically, they can look like anything. There's a short story that I read about it where this bag is hunting someone, and it looks like a t-shirt bag just blowing around in the road, this plastic shopping bag. The narrator dies, just so you know.
Yeah, so I'm in my early 50s. I still lean towards somewhat Middle Eastern clothing, but it's got some London vibes to it as well. And what else?
how long have you lived in London?
About 40 years already.
Yeah.
Like I moved here at a very young age with my parents.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's the most important stuff. Unless you have
you have a like a network of
yes,
other scholars and collectors and.
Yeah, the score comes with a large network of colleagues.
Colleagues.
Yes, that trades in powerful and it's a collection of powerful and knowledgeable mortals that trade in arcane items, relics, and ancient tomes.
Yeah. So these are all humans.
Yeah.
As
far as I know.
Yeah.
Many of whom I probably know in one way or another.
They are all mentioned in the holdings and stuff for under the Arcane Network colleagues at the bottom.
Yeah, and they're in the NPCs,
of course. Yeah.
Along with because you get to choose a few details about some of them.
Yep.
Anyway, I think that's should we jump into figuring out some debts?
Yes, let's.
Does anyone have any that they feel like are super obvious that they want to apply? Or ones that are already kind of already have somebody for them, like Moonseek has your demon carried you back from the land of the dead, so you owe it 2 debts.
Oh,
That's one
thanks,
decision made.
Murky.
I know. Murky's a good boy.
Good boy, Murky. Cool. Is there I guess in debts is where we will track the debts. I may reorganize how mine's set up.
Yeah, we'll probably want to get some more rows in there.
Yeah, think.
Yes, let's
It's
build
going to
up.
get a little bitty.
It'll be deadtastic. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so should I start calling people out by name? And
Sure.
okay, well, I'll do the circling back then to the start. Yeah, someone makes sure you get fed regularly. You owe them 2 debts. So you drink blood.
I figured that might be Moonseek, actually. Which I don't. Yep, agreement. Cool. Yeah, I'll let that magic happen.
Cool.
In fact, here we go. I got this. And then I think that it's quite possible that I can get Shoddy her fix, whatever she decides that is specifically.
Yeah.
What do I hook you up with, Shoddy? Or what do you think I could?
Sorry, I was a bit distracted. And I was
Okay.
I'm still new to the name.
Okay. I think that Imogen might help Shoddy get her fix, whatever that might be. Let me know if you agree.
Yep, totally good.
What do you think it is?
I mean, doesn't have to be strictly like narcotics and things like that.
Right. I mean, her fix could be that she just fucking loves small, intimate, one-person comedy reviews. just can't get enough.
Yeah.
Or, it could be, I need a preserved sample of this plant from this part of the world.
Yeah.
Can you find it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like really.
I do need like, and then I put I need that plant, and then I place it in my bag, and it never comes out again.
Do you occasionally almost put your keys and phone in your bag and oh no?
I think no. The thing is, keys and phone still I can put in there and they come out fine.
Okay.
But then there's a few things that just
things that the bag deems interesting.
Yes.
Your edibles never come back.
Even some of the edibles, but not all of them somehow.
I don't know if you want a bit more time to think about who bears responsibility for you becoming a vampire. And that doesn't need to be the vampire who bit you. That can be the person who got you involved with the vampire, the person who, ditched you in the middle of London to go somewhere, do something else, and you were alone when the vampire got you.
This one might be something that I want to point at an NPC, but we'll see.
Yeah. Moonseek, someone mourned your death truly and deeply. You owe them a debt.
Do we want that to be Molly?
That works with Molly, yeah.
Yeah, just because I think with the other two that are undone, only one of them probably goes to I don't know. We'll see.
It also means that another player isn't partially in charge of who you were previously.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think that prevents either of us from having any particular privileged knowledge.
Well, I'm totally welcome to give you privileged knowledge, but it also is a good deal of pressure too when there's a whole lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Someone tried to get justice for your murder, but failed to lay your soul to rest.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
I mean, yeah. Is that one we need to just dwell on for a bit?
I can see Shadi relying on you and your powers though.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Mm.
All right, so Shadi, that's moving to the next one. Shadi has come to rely on me and my powers.
Basically, I think she's probably still sort of using you as a. I mean, you were of course a bicycle carrier. Now you have some carrying, but you can still carry stuff. But you also have special powers, and that's very useful.
Mm.
I agree.
Because, yeah, colleagues does not mean friends.
No, exactly. That's the problem.
So then I am still a courier. Act as a courier.
Or with a little security added.
Yeah. Some of these relics are very expensive, you know.
Shadi, you're someone's hookup for relics and arcane items.
Anyone need any items?
We can do these in any order, though. So if you feel like one of the other
I'm
ones comes
perfectly
quicker.
happy. I don't know what was he tipping you off, scam someone. I kind of like being my hookup for items. Maybe I'm working on hunting down the call through mystical means.
All right.
There's got to be a spell for that, right?
Right.
Hmm.
That's what I think.
I imagine curses and spells and yeah.
Okay. And then
Someone has been tipping you off. Somebody's been tipping things. It keeps jumping around because of editing. Someone's been tipping you off to your enemy's tactics. You owe them 2 debts.
or I've scammed someone out of something rare and priceless that they cannot recover.
You owe them 3 debts.
Does
I definitely have thoughts for one of those, but I want to hear what you.
what I'd love to hear your, and also I'm curious if Jen has listening.
Yeah, that's very relevant.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's me, but then again, like,
I mean, I feel
like, why
I mean-
isn't this then like something that sort of sets this to rest?
oh,
Maybe
I was
then you
thinking.
fucking lost it.
No, I was actually thinking the other one. Since you have this foot in the world of all these collectors as well,
So I'm
you would
tipping her
have.
off
Oh,
to
yeah.
You'd have
her
insight
enemy
about
stack.
it.
I'm using your web as a way to.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea for the other one. That one,
I owe you 2.
3, I think, because of the fix as well.
Yeah, at some point, debts are going to become named
Yeah.
instead of storied.
Yeah.
And
But like if you owe 2 and they owe 2, you mark both of those separately.
Yeah, like I say -1 here because Shadi needs to put a positive number here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I like that we've got the minus and plus. I always struggle when it's like, okay, okay. It's always confusing.
I feel like this needs to move to notes or something. So
maybe
that
it's
we
its own
can.
page.
Where did notes go?
Notes is in gear, custom shit, and notes. That's where
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually,
I think this is something we need to refer to more than the stuff that's down there. So I think it needs to be higher up. I think it's good that it's straight after moves.
there. That's about where I'm going to keep that, I think. Cool.
So we still need someone who bears responsibility for you becoming a vampire. We need somebody who has been scammed. I feel like the scamming maybe is a good one for an NPC.
Oh yes.
Since someone we could try and figure some sort of to some NPCs for some of these from our
I
list.
mean, I could definitely see that I may have scammed Ravenlock out of something because I do covet her collection. Or it could be Brother Eric because he suspects I'm scamming them, which is true.
Cool. So I think one of the scholar's colleagues bears responsibility for me being turned.
Oh, let's have a look at any of those names jump out at you.
And I'm torn between Ravenlock and Brother Eric. And I'm thinking that maybe one of these collectors is a vampire.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Which one do you think is most likely? Jan?
Yeah.
I mean, Raven is 100% the I'm a vampire, I shit bats name.
Yeah,
I have given myself my knight name.
Yep.
It could definitely be Raven.
Yeah, that's not your name.
Oh, we're using our made-up names.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I was dying at the time, so maybe my memory of what was going on isn't so great. Maybe I know exactly what the fuck. I'm not sure right now what's super out.
I was just going to ask, so you know he's a vampire? Or is it she?
Well, first of all,
Raven's definitely can go either way.
Yeah, I can. All right.
Or they.
Raven is a lady. And I know they made me a vampire. Sure, she thinks she was doing me a favor.
Okay. We have that just leaves us. Someone tried to get justice for your murder, but failed to lay your soul to rest. I mean, that kind of implies somebody who didn't know you were resurrected as a revenant, or you hadn't resurrected yet. But we kind of talked about it being a bit more of a quick coming back.
Yeah, that might have been something that Imogen would have tried to do, because especially if it happened near the killing jar. It's just a title, folks. I don't actually like when somebody gets murdered in my neighborhood.
That sounds fun. If you're down with that, it means you owe me a debt, though.
Yep.
Yay.
Jen, do you have somewhere where it actually noted the... Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I see where you put it. Cool. That's fine. Yeah, so we have... Is there anything we're missing?
Don't think so.
Now we want to have to decide if we want to play a little bit today or start from... I mean, we would have about an hour or so.
Let's hit it.
Yeah, hour gives us each at least a scene, I think,
Yeah.
if we work it right.
I'm just going to open up some notes. Well, let's do the... Has everyone got the basic moves?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to find the basic moves as well. So if you all see on the first page, session intro. I really hope I didn't just close that. Oh, I thought I'd just close that window with the Google Hangout in. So do you have a character who you feel, a player character that you feel you trust the least? I mean, just roll the dice if you don't feel like you'd have a reason to distrust anyone at the moment, or don't know enough. And once you name the person who your character trusts the least, or you've just chosen at random, they get to mark one of your factions, and that's mark as in working towards getting an advanced marking. It has to be a one that's not already marked, but no one has gained XP yet. So
I trust Shadi the least right now.
So you get to choose a faction for her. And if we just make them bold, the ones we've highlighted.
Yeah. I'm interested in knights.
Cool.
So I'll move on to other people, but you can think of a rumor about the Knight faction, which is werewolves, vampires, things that prey on humans. And Moonseek. Who does Moonseek trust the least? There might be a pattern forming. I feel.
Oh man, I think it's Shoddy.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I want
I
to say
felt that was
Imogen to
coming.
mix things up and get out of that pattern. I don't want Leon to feel piled on here, but
Wild.
all right.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the rest of the group. I'm gonna say Shadi. Oh wait. Imogen.
All right. I'm going to say power for you.
All right. Thank you.
Jan, did you mark that wild?
Nope.
Okay, what faction do you want to mark?
Oh,
Wild. Go again.
I mean, I marked wilds, but I didn't mark it.
Okay, yeah. I just saw it go yellow.
Yep, I think Rich did that.
Oh, okay.
It is a bit more visible
Okay, so
than
true.
building when it's
Yeah.
this small.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we can.
4K,
Yeah, that is
no low stops. There we go.
I like that as well.
I've got it at 125%, and I still need colors. So
That helps and makes it much more readable. Yeah, so each of you think of a rumor connected to that faction that you've got marked, and then we'll do a roll based on those. Power being wizards and oracles, and is scholar? No, scholar's mortality. Power usually means humans with a little bit more power, a little more supernatural punch to them than mortality. And wild, it's the people who aren't technically from around here. You know, people from the Fae, from demons, revenants. I think dragons is also classed as wild.
Yeah.
I remember once hearing that wild were those things that were never human, which is pretty neat. I think it's odd that the Revenants faction would be wild. It feels like it would be night, but
yeah.
It's
I think
Yeah, actually,
it's your demon, I think, that kind of pushes it
like
a
the
bit
tainted.
towards.
Yeah. Okay.
And the tainted is a human who's sold their soul as well. So that's also, somebody started off human.
Faye.
Has anyone got any thoughts of, or like half-formed thoughts of a rumor?
I feel.
And it could be something to do with something that you've already got in your. It's like your opportunity to state some, fiction about one of the problems that you might already have as part of your character creation. You don't have to be bringing in a new mystery, but you can. It's your opportunity to.
I don't think that your background question of what mystery are you currently looking into has been decided yet. So this is a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah. And I think oh no, we've answered the who turned you.
Wait, did we? I thought we answered that a scholar was responsible, but
oh yeah.
No.
We did say she was a vampire, but then that doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah, Ravenlock is responsible for me being turned. I mean, I'm kind of interested in Ravenlock being a vampire.
I'm cool with you being
just
a vampire.
Straight up.
And
I'm just going to warn you guys that I'm going to constantly hear Ravenloft instead of Ravenlock. Just going to happen.
We'll just have to stick to Lock or Raven, maybe not Ravenlock.
Yeah.
Just carry loads of buzzsaws and a gravity gun when you go.
Hmm.
Do
So
we
I
want
guess-
to have a...
What does the power faction look like in London right now? Because that's actually kind of a
Okay, I mean,
wide open question.
I have notes. I've got it. They're not. Nothing of these is like concrete. Like this is what we're doing. These are just ideas and things for bringing in. I think power might actually be my least thought out notes.
Okay.
So
Cool. Which means that whatever rumor I come up with.
I imagine the kind of the politicians, and I imagine there being some wizards and
I mean,
underhand dealings with spells and things and artifacts amongst the people who are rich enough to afford those things and have the contacts to buy them. I imagine a lot of executives and Eton-educated politicians and maybe minor royals,
priests.
possibly priests.
I was looking. I'm just going on the fact that the Hallowed is a member of Power. So
is it? Oh, I thought that was not okay. Yeah. Immortals is also Power. I do think there might be a very exclusive club for the immortals, the defunct gods.
Yeah.
The one of these ones where it's it might be like one. I think as a club, it probably has one room you can go in that's like if you're really really rich and from really really rich families that have gone back years, you can go and smoke cigars and don't have to talk to your wife and that kind of leather chairs and scotch. And then you can go into another door for if you're not one of those young whippersnappers, you've been around for a few centuries or millennia.
If you want to actually have a good conversation about how things used to be.
Yeah, the good old days where
the good old days.
You could just throw people on the bonfire and they would praise you for it.
So yeah, I have heard a rumor that immortal interests have been infiltrating the police and the Met specifically.
I thought you had knights marked.
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to come up with a rumor about.
Oh no, you get to choose the rumor for your.
All right.
Sorry.
Well then, I will go back to the thinking board.
Yeah, sorry. So Shardy has to choose one for power, Moonseek for wild, and Imogen for night. I hope that didn't put everyone into turmoil of having to figure out new rumors.
Luckily enough, someone marked my wild and I am wild, so I was already thinking wild. I think, and help me make sure this fits within the document that we have for Urban Shadows London, but I wanted to play with inverted London beneath the sewers, a faux Victorian society. I like it being fae with its own rules and government. The MC to London above, also to the warmer territories a bit further down. Yikes. I think that inverted London, that there is a judge that has written a warrant for someone above. And I have heard that they have sent a it wouldn't be a wild hunt because they're like Victorian society. So who would serve a warrant? Like go look for someone to arrest and drag down to inverted London?
Are we talking? Because I imagine that there's definitely a D
Uh-oh.
London,
Okay.
but I imagine it's mainly
Oh,
Can
cafe.
you
but there's
restate? You froze
definitely,
for a second,
you know,
Alex.
Sorry. In my idea for inverted London, there's, like I mentioned in the document, that it's mainly a Fey society, I imagine.
Yeah.
But there is those that, you know, a judge could also be demonic if it's connected to. I mean,
To those
which
sorts of things.
is this?
I was kind of
or is
liking
this not known
Faye.
at all? Is this just something from has been sent up?
Yeah, I think it's just. I was thinking it was not something directly involved with Moonseek's call, but
Fae.
there's an individual, and I can make up a name. We could circle it in. It could be one of the player characters, but someone has issued a warrant for the apprehension and fetching them down to inverted London.
So I have two ideas that came to my head about this. One is like to have a Fey Inquisitor of some kind.
What's your other idea? Because that's really good.
And the other is if you want to civilize the wild hunt, you make it a fox hunt.
That is actually in my. I don't know if it's in the one that's shared to everyone, but in my personal notes, I do have ideas of that as a thing. A terrible, terrifying thing.
Fox hunts are terrifying.
Yes.
Actually.
And but I'm okay
or in fact,
bringing that in at a later date if that's
aristocratic style. I have a pack of dogs hunting.
Yes.
Is terrifying.
So it depends on what's. So if Rich, just so you know, if you go Inquisitor, that idea does not disappear. Something that I already had in my notes, so it would, I'm sure, come back at a later point.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Inquisitor specifically because I see this as more of a very threatening but polite conversation rather than oh god, the hounds. We can definitely save that for later. By we, I mean you. But yeah, for my rumor, that's what I've heard, and I think there's the folks are a tizzy about who might be drug away.
I just want to say one thing about because I know it says it calls your animal a demon. I do kind of see it a little bit more like spirit from the afterlife than specifically hell type demon. I mean, not to say it isn't that type of demon, but I think there's a.
I think it's specifically like tossing in the A in demon makes it different.
It kind of, yeah. So did anyone else have thoughts?
I think I've probably heard a rumor that some powerful people have been either chasing or have recently found an artifact that may or may not have been touched by gods or belonged to a god.
Maybe a spoke off of the wheel of God's throne or something.
But in the whole. There we go. I like the idea that I kind of ripping off like Sandman. I imagine there is God. I think that's basically creation. It's not like a specific religion, but then there is also gods of specific religions. Whole belief is Neil Gaiman stuff.
Sure. Guess that leaves just me. I've heard rumors that there are way more fresh ghosts wandering around bothering people lately.
Okay. I keep reaching for my mouse when I'm editing my iPad. There we go. Oh. Should we do the roll and then have a break? I can
Sure.
have a little bit of time to, and then we can just go get a bit of time. A scene each. So you roll with the faction. If you're rolling in the, I'll open up that chat room thing. But I'm fine with roll wherever you wanna. Ooh.
Yeah, I can never get those to work, so.
Is
Here
that
I am.
shiny roll? No.
Oh, I didn't touch it yet.
Yeah.
I have to find it again. Of course, it's somewhere in one of my other tabs. There we go.
I hope for Moonseek's sake that's not his role. Oh, well.
That is my role.
And just for reference, how high a faction stat do you have in that?
Oh, power is 2 for me, so it's a whopping 4.
Okay. I'll just go find where I put your. Yep. I'll just put the number there. Oh no, I'll just put miss.
Hard miss.
I also have rolled Snake Eyes.
Oh,
which would be
Wow.
I thought that was what was just the default before you'd rolled.
I mean, I put it in to roll and submitted. So come on, Jen, roll Snake Eyes.
I hate to disappoint. I rolled a 4 and a 1, so a 5 plus 1 for 6. I still also fail.
Oh, goody.
Okay, well, I don't need to kind of think, oh, okay, in different levels of success. I just, okay, misses for everyone.
Everything is shit. Yes.
What do I do?
Break?
Yeah, 7 minutes and
Yep. Sounds
20
good.
past.
Gives you some time to think.
Yeah, I gotta hit you all with misses. No. Oh, I'll eat some more food while waiting for Rich.
Rich said to just go on without him. He will be a bit late.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll move on to my. So, what does Shardy's like? Do you have like a shop, worker space, your collection?
She has well, I have an apartment just off Portobello Road, and I don't really keep a shop there, but I sometimes will have a stall at the Portobello Market, or otherwise I sometimes even take uh, my things to what's the other market called again?
Camden?
Yes.
So it's a lot more like small markets or just meeting up with people in private.
Yes. Mostly that's also how the network, the arcane network, comes together. They have a monthly marketplace.
Ah, is that one like
It's one of the
invite
tags.
only type thing, or is it out in the open in public?
It's invite only, and people are dissuaded from walking in. The arcane network uses codes and signals, and they have a monthly marketplace, and they have cops on the payroll. So yes, with some help from the police, they can make sure that nobody interferes with the market.
I think you've been asked. I think sometimes, like, I think there's a certain crowd who like are into the kind of healing crystals and stuff, who will come to you, and they want like the real healing crystals, and you can probably get a bit of a good money out of that.
Oh yes, these are
you know, it's a you know, a lot of celebrity crowd, you know, some low, offshoots of royal family, duchess of something, and I think you've been reached out to, to bring your wares to show.
I missed that.
Sorry?
Could you repeat that?
They've reached out to you kind of through network of contacts to come with some of your wares to kind of, so there might be more than one buyer, you might have a chance to sucker some more people.
Exactly, like I will bring a few choice items, but only a few, and then a bunch of crystals. Look, it's a little Indian statue of the gods that will give you good luck. A bunch of crap, basically.
Yeah. How do you go through the city? Do you take public transport? Do you have a driver?
I mean, I don't have a driver. I do have a car.
Yeah.
But and if depending on how much it's a mid-sized car, but depending on how much I actually need to bring, like if I don't need to bring too much, I prefer to take public transport because it's much easier to just take the underground than to drive through the city.
Yeah.
So I think in this case, it's probably just going to be on the underground, and carrying a good sized bag.
So, are you carrying 2 bags?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Do you always make a habit of bringing
Oh
Jesper?
yeah, always useful.
So I think you get the address very well. Rich area of the city, you know. Those kind of like that Notting Hill type thing looking area, and yeah, the address, beautifully maintained house, and there's somebody at the door to kind of, not exactly a butler, but assistant of some kind. He kind of just nods to you and opens the door to let you go in, and gestures to a back room.
Thank you.
He just nods again. Door closes, and yeah, it's like, not the front living room area or whatever, greeting room. It's a room just a bit more to the back, so away from the main windows of the house. And as you're walking, you hear a click as the door is locked.
I calmly walk inside.
There's only one person in the room. They're not, I think they don't look ditzy or whatever, or they don't look like some sort of minor celebrity. They, it's very very reserved, and
I can
more of a
respect
serious look on their face and a light-hearted, fun time, let's buy crystals expression.
I will go inside and say, hello, my name is Shadi Barsani. Are you the only person that will be attending?
Yes. No need to take that task.
And what do I call you?
You can call me Sarah.
Very well, Sarah.
Now,
What can I do for you, Sarah?
You have access to items, many items.
Yes, I brought some. Would you like to see some? No?
No. I don't want to see whatever lucky Buddha you've brought me.
Oh. It's a shame.
Or the people I represent, are looking for a very specific item. You will be finding us this item.
I will. Very well.
Yes.
For the people you represent, yes, of course.
Yes. And if you procure it, you will be paid handsomely for your time. And if you don't, there will be less pleasant repercussions.
So you are threatening me.
I'm glad we're understanding each other.
And may I ask for who you are threatening, in whose name?
Do we want to initiate any mechanics, or?
I'd like to figure her out.
Which window have I closed?
Yeah, exactly. Also.
There we go. I'm going to put that as a tab.
Oh, with mind.
There we
go. Selected. Oh, nice. So 11
That's
plus
a lot of
mind
numbers.
is 13.
13.
So on a hit.
And just to be clear, your faction is
I am mortality.
Mortality. Okay. So you get 2 questions.
Because they're not mortality. Good to know. I mean, the question that I was asking her, I'll start with, who's pulling your character strings?
Let's say, I think there is a briefcase placed on a table, and there is like it's open, and there's files, and I think one of them has a letterhead logo type thing. Cool. Oh, I'm trying to think of a name. The Excalibur Group.
All right. And how can I put your character in my debt?
Get her the item that she wants. I feel that's a dick answer, but you would be in her debt.
I mean, most of them would come down to the same thing anyway.
Yeah. She sighs and like reaches to the her suitcase, the briefcase, right? And takes out a document. And now you're resourceful when you know people.
That's true.
And I do believe out of the others that we've, well, threatened, you have the best chance of getting it, even with the minor head start they have. And she hands you the paper, which is full of some like markings, script, small description of a small. What do we think this item is? It's the item touched by a god. Or of God. Or,
mm,
I mean, the document has definitely, articles relating to this item.
I think it's like something pretty mundane, like a comb.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a last photo of the item. That's black and white, very, early photography. Possibly with like somebody standing holding it by a site of some sort of archaeological dig. You can keep the papers.
That's much appreciated, but it still requires some more information because you've said I'd be handsomely paid, but I would like to know what you consider handsome.
What would you say your net worth is currently?
Give or take 2 million.
Adding a zero? Would that be? That seems worthy of your time.
You pique my interest, but you've already contacted other people. So, what competition am I looking at?
Oh, the usual crowd, I'm sure. She looks at her papers and a Miss Locke. There's a few of them. It's
Yes, I'm well familiar with Miss Locke. Wonderful. Okay.
well, I have business to
I'm
see
sure you
to, so if you see yourself out.
Yes, I think I shall. Thank you for your time.
She doesn't answer you. She just starts closing up the super briefcase with a click.
Yeah, I'll head out.
Where are you? I think we'll move on to another character, but where are you heading? Do you have an idea?
Well, I think I will hit the streets to consult my arcane network.
Okay. We'll pick you. Well, maybe we'll pick that up next session. Moonseek. Where do you sleep? Is that something you still do?
I rest. Stop
Do you
moving
dream?
and dream.
Yeah. But do you actually have a place that you do that? When you wanna, or is it?
I think so. I mean, I have been working for Shadi a bit, as well as Imogen. So yeah, I think
We
I'm
have
able to have
funds.
some money.
Yeah.
So it's not much. I don't need much. I don't need many creature comforts.
But you can't die until you've
No.
fulfilled your vengeance, so
A 1-bedroom flat with a tiny kitchenette. I don't even know if this exists in London, but it amuses me. So a Murphy bed, fire
is that
escape just outside.
is that one of those ones that like folds out of the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've only seen them in
I've only
American
seen
movies,
on TV.
but
Yep.
it doesn't mean
do.
that they don't exist in. So we say that you have one.
I mean, the last person that lived there thought it was a great thing, and there we go.
Oh yeah, it was super. What's the word?
Very efficient, compact, space saving.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a hipster who thought it was really cool, but it was also those things. Yeah. You're dreaming. I think you're dreaming of that night. Is it something clear to you?
I think that it's not the first time I've had this dream, and it's slowly becoming clearer.
What do you? I mean, what kind of stimuli is the most kind of vivid in the dream of this?
There's the taste of copper when I choke on my own blood. There's a moment when Rory trips over an extension cord that had been strung across the floor and takes it out on me with a bat with nails in it. There's the naked light bulb that hangs and swings above.
You feel breathing very close to your face as you wake. And murky. It's just sitting there very close.
Is there something wrong?
We should leave this place. It is not safe. We should probably leave very soon.
And go where?
We may need to move. To keep on the move.
Of course. I get up and throw on some pants. What is coming?
I may have upset some politics coming to the surface.
That sounds like your problem.
It'll be very much our problem.
I see.
There are certain rules in play, and some people have different interpretations of those rules. I may have twisted some to fulfill your vengeance.
Steps into some boots that he's left with the laces half done. Grabs a shirt. I like the bed.
The bed is good.
Or to miss it.
we may be able to return. But we should leave. Now.
Grab my last bits of my stuff, and I'll head out onto the street, following the whims of this dog.
Outside I think, how do you leave do you just go out the front door?
As much trouble as he says there is, I think I'll head down the fire escape.
I think as you come out onto the streets, there is a tall, thin figure looking. Is this building? Is your building multiple apartments?
Yeah, I think it's like an apartment building. Is maybe 15, 20 stories.
Yeah, there's some strange tall figure in a long, slim coat, looking at the names on the kind of the buttons for ringing each different apartment, ringing up to them.
Oh, I want to put a face to a name here.
Okay. Roll with wild.
Damn it!
Sorry.
It's okay. It's like, oh man, this could be a free tick on an infection. It's wild, always wild. All right, here we go. Oh crap! It's not snake eyes. It is a 3, and with my +2 in wild, that makes it a 5.
And he rolled a face to a name.
Yeah. On a miss, you don't know them or you owe them. The EMC will tell you which.
It's going to be you don't know them. You see, I think they as they're running their hands over the names, you can see them muttering to themselves in like a rhythmic, slightly sing-song. I mean, it's just, you shouldn't really be able to hear it from where you are, but somehow it kind of it somehow reaches your ear in some way. Kind of like, it feels like a vibration almost. And they kind of...
That's why I have to move that. I point, and I'm talking to Murky.
Yes. I believe it's an inquisitor from beneath. We should run.
Pick up into a jog. Try to get out of here. Do I need to roll to escape?
I think I would like to end your scene on rolling with an escape, yeah.
All right, cool. On when you take advantage of an opening, thanks Murky, to escape a situation, roll with blood. I'm pretty bloody, so let me see if I can roll something better than a 4. All right, that's a 10.
A 10.
On a 10, I get to choose one. Do you want me to make that choice now or sit on it?
Yeah, choose one.
You leave something important behind. I almost went to I owe Murky a debt for an escape, but Murky said it was his fault, so I left something important behind in my rush to get out of there.
Let's see. You have the items, you're a remnant of your death, but you also have a handful of photographs and mementos from your old life on an old flip phone.
Yep.
I think you left the phone.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I assume it's a phone that you actually use as well.
It still worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those pay as you go. So just kept paying in more money and I could use it. That's how people got hold of me. It's worked. It did its job and I left it.
Yeah. I think we have a slight scene that's away from you as you disappear into the city. The camera tracks back to your room, and inside your room there's like the door on it, the latch, and the latch just clicks out of place and falls, and then the door just opens up with the figure, hands behind back. Obviously he's not opened the door with the hands, and just walks in and peers around, and then with very long slender fingers picks up the phone, flicks it open, clicks contacts, then flicks it back closed and pockets the phone before striding off again. The camera doesn't linger on the face. I think from what you saw, kind of shoulder length, very light blonde hair, not quite white, very Scandinavian, and slightly pale skin. Okay, and then Imogen. Is the club? What is the what is the Killing Jar hosting tonight?
We just got a couple of local DJs tonight. They're going to be working separate dance floors. The Killing Jar is multi-story, so there are multiple areas where you can do that. So not super special tonight. I'm hustling to get more live music in.
Is that something you're actively doing right now? Or
what time is it?
Say 10, 11 in the evening. Kind of maybe the start of the night for a lot of the crowd here. Maybe there could be whoever represents the DJs.
I mean, the DJs are they're local. They they need the work. But what I've been trying to do is land a partnership with a booking company that can get talent from out of town to actually come to my venue when different bands are on tour and so on. So I think that, I've got that person here at the Killing Jar. I'm actually here inside of my club, which I am not always at.
Yeah.
Like, I don't live here. And as the owner, I come and go as I please.
You can showing them
I'm showing them
the establishment,
the different areas, the capabilities that we have, letting them get a feel of the decor and the amenities. They are, of course, drinking on my dime tonight.
How do your ghouls address you?
They call me Imogen.
Is there any like Miss Imogen or?
They might say Miss or Ms. sometimes. And yeah, they don't get to work in the bright areas. Not that there are many. It's a nightclub.
I think, yeah, when it's like DJ, low lights, strobe lights that kind of don't give you a clear view for.
They don't get to work with the straights in the kitchen where the lights are on.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
One of them kind of. Let's look at the names. Jordan.
Okay.
Miss Imogen. Can I procure drinks?
Do you want anything?
How do you see this booking person?
They're like a young new money asshole. Perhaps they're extremely Chad.
I think he has the air of 80s John Hughes villain character.
So he thinks his suit is amazing, but actually it looks just like garbage.
Yes. He has spent ostentatiously expensive watch, and that he feels the need to check the time in front of people.
And it's so big.
Oh yeah, it's
like the biggest watch.
I mean, it's definitely very expensive, but
only Flava Flav has a bigger watch.
It's I have time for a drink, yes.
And of course, I'll continue to abstain. Thank you.
Of course. He rattles off some drink. And then Jordan said, I'll be back momentarily. We need a name.
Oh man.
Something that. Oh.
Gabe.
Oh yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I don't like that name. Sorry, any Gabes. But yeah. Gabe.
Something that starts with a W? Walton?
Gabe Walters?
Weston? Huh?
Gabe Walters?
Walters, okay.
What? I mean, it's definitely very interesting location. I can see, I mean, the space. I mean, how many people can you house comfortably?
First floor is about 80 because it shares with the kitchens and bar back and receiving. Second floor is about 120. And then third floor is mixed VIP. We have a cool down area with a capacity of about 40 people. And then the operating theater has a capacity of about 20. And then the private VIP suites, those only house about 10, 12 people.
I mean, I'm not sure, Mike. I mean, the clientele I can get, but do you think they would be seen in a place like this? It does seem a bit. He doesn't actually give you an adjective. Just annoyingly vague and condescending.
Just a little too flavorful? Thematic?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Well, I certainly wouldn't want any of the talent to feel upstaged by the stage.
Imogen.
That would be very difficult for them.
This is not him speaking. Who has Imogen killed since she's been a vampire?
Oh, that's weird. Sorry. Goodness, I'm not sure if I have killed anybody since I've been turned. If you think that's cheap and I need to pick somebody, just say so, and I will.
I may enforce a death.
All right.
It doesn't have to be vampire related. I mean, it doesn't have to be somebody you've killed, but it needs to be somebody who you know's died. Could be who's died in the club.
Well, I mean, Moonseek died recently, not inside the club, but in about the same neighborhood, and that wasn't great. This usually isn't a very violent club because there are, well, I mean, one, it's not in a total garbage area of town, but two, I feel like there are enough powerful interests to be like, I feel like if I break the wrong thing there, a wizard's going to take a shit on my heart.
Known to happen.
Known to happen. But I think one of our go-go dancers, Rexa, actually had some kind of run-in in the club.
She's standing. She's like, you could see her through some of the crowd. She's like looking at the other dancers mournfully.
I'm kind of.
So I mean, I could do you favors. I'd get some small acts here. I mean, it has to be worth my while. I mean,
Gabe, if you're not interested in hosting and connecting with a venue of our size, then please leave. I didn't set this meeting up just to be told that I wasn't worth doing business with.
Would you think this is persuading an NPC through being, playing hardball against his bullshit? Or is this more you just want him to leave? He's wasting your time. Or are you tricking him through?
I think this is more interesting as a persuade.
Yep.
Oh, well. Hey there, Di. All All right, so I got a 5 and a 2 on the dice. I believe my heart is 1. So that is an 8.
Okay. Okay, I tell you what. I got some smaller, quirkier acts. I'm sure they would love this, the whole vibe you're going for here. I mean, you'd owe me, but I could get some, bring the acts here up a level, bring into the big time. Well, lower.
I want a little bit of that destination interest. Gabe.
Sorry?
That's really all I'm after.
I missed what the.
I'm sorry?
I missed what you said. Sorry.
Looking for a little bit of that destination interest, as when people travel to arrive here, specifically.
I'll give you a list. I'll get back to you.
All right. It was lovely speaking to you. Feel free to stay, to entertain yourself. If you'd like, I can have somebody call you a cab home. And if you'd like to tour the VIP areas, just let me know.
He kind of nods, already opening his phone.
And if you'd like to bring the guest with you, that would be amenable.
He does another ostentatious look at his phone, at his watch, to check the time.
Mm-hmm.
You see out the corner of your eye, you see the dancer kind of go off, kind of fading away as she leaves, looking like she was searching for something.
Yeah, and I will leave Gabe to himself as I go and look after wherever Rexo went.
I think we'll have to wrap up. Once we hit 10, no, past 10. Probably could squeeze a quick roses and thorns.
Sure. Do you want that on screen or
session end move?
Session end move, correct. Thank you. Let's do that. At the end of every session, you've learned something meaningful about a faction. Increase your score in that faction by 1, and decrease the score in a different faction. So this is if you've learned something meaningful about a faction. If you feel there's some change in relationship. I mean, we've only had one little scene each, so it's we could quite easily skip that.
I already have wild at 2. I don't want to increase it anymore.
Yeah. And if someone did you a favor at a cost, tell the group you owe them a debt. And if you did someone a favor without redress, tell the group you owe a debt. That's all on the player's interpretation. If you feel there's a debt owed,
not for me.
Received.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Are these pictures of things that are in the killing jar?
Yes.
Mermaid.
Yes, some of it is absolutely like I made a deal with some artists, or I went to an antique shop and I bought some faux taxidermy weirdness. We do have a real Volpertinger.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. Is there any preference for Roses and Thorns? Do we do it off air?
It's totally up to you.
We can do it on air.
Okay.
I'll go in order of the little of people at the bottom. Jan.
We start with Roses of Thorns.
Uh,
I don't remember. Rich knows.
yeah, Rich
I
knows.
usually start with Thorns so you can end
Yes.
with Roses.
Yes.
Thorn, yes.
I mean, Thorn, of course. We had so little time. Yeah, that's it. I think. I mean, no other Thorns for me.
Jen.
I mean, Jan already took not that much time. What time we did spend playing felt pretty slow.
I definitely have a thorn related to that, which is definitely self-thorn. So, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're still really getting on our feet about this area and the elements within it. It might be useful to have some map material
We can,
for the game.
Yeah. We can bring up a London map and we can start just marking down
There's
locations.
a map in the folder, I think.
Do you have any more?
No, I think that's it. Oh, Self-Thorn. After calling Gabe a Chad, I kept trying to call him Chad. That was a problem.
We may introduce, we might have to introduce a Chad at some point.
Yeah.
When we need somebody who's a Chad.
Exactly.
Rich.
Thorns for me, ditto on the not enough time, but I think that was the right call for us to kind of talk as friends before we jumped in, and I'm glad we did something. I really, really am. Other thorns. I mean, I have some roses, but like I didn't get to interact with player characters, but it was just one scene, so I feel like this is a good thrust to get me running towards one or the other or both of them. So I'm good. It was a very minor
thorn. My thorn was definitely with Jen. I did not hit hard enough with the miss. I should have really ramped up spooky ghost stuff and made it more of a problem than that's something maybe I should take note of.
I mean, I've taken note of it and I'm
Yeah.
going and looking after it now, but
it didn't feel like a miss level. I didn't feel like you were stuck in the problem and it made it.
Yeah.
It did make it a lot slower and like more of the scene was focused on the thing that I was just putting in to have something.
Oh, happening. I didn't feel like my scene was slow.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally I feel I could have hit harder with all of the, their misses. Hard moves should have happened. Yeah, that was my back to Jan for roses.
I mean, I think it's we're getting off from a good start. I like the tips that have been exchanged. I think that's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to exploring it more. I'm excited.
Yeah. over to Jen.
Yeah, I like the characters so far. I like who they are and what they've got going on in their lives. I look forward to seeing more of that. And of course, I like having the opportunity to play with all of y'all more. And play alongside Rich. That almost never gets to happen.
I know, right?
I know. Goodness. I suppose thank you for being indulgent with me and my cool nightclub ideas.
I dig your nightclub. It has taxidermy, like all nightclubs should.
So fun fact. I was lost for Imogen's last name, so I just sort of had that pinned, and then I went looking for like weird historical taxidermy, and one of the first walruses that was ever taxidermed in
Yes.
London.
Is that what the name of it is? Or
it's
of
the
this.
Horniman walrus, because a naturalist gentleman named Horniman had it taxidermed. The taxidermist had never seen a walrus and didn't understand that the skin was supposed to be loose. So it is effectively like this balloon animal.
It's a walrus balloon.
It's a walrus balloon, and it's very, very silly. So I had to do it. I was like, it's so dumb, but I can't stop. My fingers are typing it in. So yeah.
It's a deep cut, and I like it. Rich?
I'm looking at the picture now.
I forgot to self-thorn my my long break. Apologize for that. That was much longer than I anticipated. And thank you guys for going on without me. I have some roses to hand out. Jen, I love this club, especially the pictures that you shared with us. That was unexpected and really freaky, and it gives me such a cool image for the place. I look forward to many adventures in aforementioned club. Shoddy leading off by trying to scam rich people with rocks shaped like luck gods. I can't wait to go back and watch that, and like how you got there, Jan. That is ballsy. I love it. And I'm excited about this threat, the Inquisitor coming after Murky, because it's totally not Moon's fault. Yay.
You didn't ask to be brought back.
It's true.
Yeah. Or did you? I don't know.
So it's good. I think they're nice intro scenes, kind of like the first little bit before the credits roll.
Yeah. We'll just have a week of credits, and then we'll jump back in.
Okay. Everybody is on for next week.
Yeah.
And we will continue it there. Thank you again, Alex. I'm looking forward to Urban Shadows London.
All right.